street is on. Did it?
Yeah, I got a
EA servers.
I'm trying to upgrade my hoopy right quick. Get in.
Limitless. The ability to break free. To experience golf in ways you never thought possible. Taking your game to levels once only dreamed of. Welcome to the next generation of golf. This is EA Sports Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. Hello again, everyone. This is Rich Lerner here to walk you through some lessons on how to play EA Sports Rory McIlroy PGA Tour. We'll start with lessons that teach you how to set up different shots. Let's get started. The first thing you need to know is how to aim your shot. Change your aim direction to aim at the target and pass this lesson. Picking the right club is another key to shot selection. Your current club is always displayed here. Change your club to aim at the target and pass this lesson. There are 6 basic shot types built into the game for you to use. Your current shot type is always displayed here. A full shot aims your club at its maximum distance. A choke shot aims you a little shorter than the club's maximum distance. A punch shot is a low shot used to get out of the trees or keep the ball under the wind. A pitch shot is useful when you get near the green. A flop shot is useful near the green when you need the ball to stop quickly. A chip shot is useful when you are right next to the green and have a lot of room to work with.
Damn, we got a lot more options on this shit, bro. We're like 10 chip shots.
Creating custom shots starts with knowing how to change your aim distance. Change your aim distance to aim at the target and pass this lesson. You can further customize your shots by using shot shaping. Your shot shaping meter will show up here when you are actively using it. Change your shot shape to aim through the rings and pass this lesson. There are 3 different ways to play the game. Each offers a unique swing mechanic and supporting settings. The tour style uses an advanced analog swing that emphasizes both the backswing and the follow-through. When you pull down on the swing stick, the golfer's animation will begin. From here, your speed on the swing stick will factor into your shot distance. You must swing fast on longer shots and softer on shorter shots. A readout of your backswing and follow-through will appear after you hit your shot. The path on the swing stick will change as you try to curve shots left and right. To curve the ball left, your backswing is down and to the left. Your follow-through is up and to the right.
Wow, you gotta do fast, bro.
To curve the ball right, your backswing is down and to the right. Your follow-through is up and to the left. The tour style shortens your swing animation as you aim for shorter shots. However, it becomes easier to overswing and get unwanted distance. This forces you to have more touch on shorter shots. If you don't follow through when the meter gets full, you will end up overshooting your target. With the short distance, a slower follow-through is required to get the perfect amount of power. Now that you know how to play and your training is complete, you can keep this style, practice some more, or choose a different style. So many historic moments have played out before our eyes in major championships, and today, two of the top players in the world are set to tee off. Rory McIlroy holding a one-shot lead over Martin Keimer. It's the final round of the U.S. Open Championship at Chambers Bay.
We're going into, the final round of any golf tournament with a chance to win, especially a major championship. It's a huge buzz. That's the only way I can describe it. It's the best feeling a golfer can have because you're in the mix and you're in with a chance to win one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's an incredible feeling. It's something that you may only get to experience a handful of times in your life. So, that atmosphere, you want to soak it in as much as you can and really enjoy it.
Rory McIlroy coming off a strong performance yesterday, now making his way to that first tee box and looking to add another major championship trophy to his already growing collection.
And Rich, there's no doubt both golfers will be nervous until they get that very first tee shot under their belt.
The first tee shot is probably the most difficult because you've been thinking about that shot since the night before. Once you get that first shot out of the way, you calm down, you're a little more settled, you're not quite as anxious or nervous, and you sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Well, here he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open champion, about to tee off on what should be an historic day of golf alongside the beautiful Puget Sound. And he's underway. Frank, it looks like a good one.
Yeah, it looked like a free-flowing swing, that's for sure. It certainly betrayed the nervous feeling that we thought he might be feeling on the first tee. And a huge tee shot.
Well, you've been there, Frank. Nerves are good on the first tee, even for great players.
If you can control them.
Perfect lie here, Frank. What's Rory got?
Well, expect something just slightly right of the flag. You want to avoid the hill and the bunkers on the right. There's a little bit of a a gut or a chasm just over that left side of the green. So left, not a good option.
About 145 yards away.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet, so a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
I think it's a
Opportunity to put pressure on Keimer right out of the gate.
You know, it's uphill, Rich. It should, if anything, move to the right. Just depends on the speed of this putt, whether it's left edge or outside.
He'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie.
Slam it to the right. Yeah. Obviously.
Excellent start, Rory McIlroy. What a nice putt.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when, you know, it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second, and McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. Frank, I know it's early, but if he drops this could really spark some momentum for the round.
But this putt will be very, very quick. You've got to be careful because the ball can quite easily take off once it gets past the hole.
Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. Not that time, but not for lack of effort. So he'll have to take care of his business and knock it in for par. All right, took care of his business there. So second shot here at the fourth, and this one sets up pretty well for McIlroy, doesn't it, Frank?
It's an easy one for him to work out. A little bit uphill, perhaps a club. And with 165 yards, playing closer to 170, 175, still a birdie opportunity.
Headed for the bunker. So the second of the par four goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Bunker shot coming up now for Rory. How's this part of his game, Frank?
It's certainly improved over the last couple of years, and it really has to, because he plays such an aggressive style of play that you have to accept the miss, just like what we saw in that second shot. It's a good strike, good swing by McIlroy. No problem finding the putting surface.
Straight putt right there. What do you angle that shit for? Straight putt.
Why is it curving?
I don't know, man. That means it's downhill. Dick.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
Shut up.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
There's some times when there might be a wait on a tee box, or you've played your shot and you're waiting on your playing partners to hit their shots, and you just look around and you realize where you are, because you don't really you don't appreciate it that much whenever you're playing, and that's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to win a golf tournament and not really taking in the beauty of your surroundings.
Rory set to tee off here on the long par 3 ninth hole, appropriately named Olympus for its high perch above the course. Really a stunning view.
It's right now about club selection, whether to hit 1 or 2 clubs less than what the yardage is showing right now. We're at least 100 feet above here. And you're going to want to sit up on the left side of that green. Have to avoid that menacing bunker on the right.
Misses the green right here at the ninth.
See, that's bullshit. It made me club down, and it was 20 fucking million yards short. How do I fucking? How do I look at the fucking thing, man?
That's okay. You'll be able to check through it whenever I get it. I'm gonna go have a cigarette. This kind of looks stressful.
That's not too stressful.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. You can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss. And a drop shot here at the ninth. Just a couple of feet. Bit unfortunate, loses a shot here with that bogey. Now McIlroy is the chaser, looking up at Martin Kaymer, and that is no easy task, playing a U.S. Open and chasing the likes of a Martin Kaymer. Plus, pretty difficult shot coming up here at the 15th.
It's going to require a great flop shot to get the ball up so quickly and get it to stop in such a short space is going to take every bit of skill.
That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
And he's made the green. That's too bad. This will be a disappointing bogey late in the round for McIlroy.
Might just be too much to come back from. That was a good run at it, Rich.
Final few holes to play, especially of a major championship like the US Open. You know, it's what you've worked so hard for. It's what, you know, you've put all those hours of practice in for, and you know, this is your moment. This is your moment to see what you've got against the best players in the world and test yourself at the ultimate level. There's obviously a lot of pressure. You know, you don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by. You don't want to let it slip. So just stay really focused, really concentrated. Try to take one shot at a time. Try and put the result out of your mind. Control what you can control. But saying that, it is difficult with so many things going on around you, whether it be the crowd or it could be the person that you're going up against. You know, there's so many things that you can't control, but you know, the things that you can control, that's what you have to concentrate on, and that's what you have to try and, you know, do to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, that's what gives you the best chance to try and win a huge tournament like the US Open.
You couldn't ask for much more than what we have right here. Two former US Open champions, 17th hole, tied for the lead, Martin Kaymer and Rory McIlroy.
And Rich, it's easy to remember these types of situations, and it's as much about mental toughness as anything right now. The 17th hole is named Derailed, and I'm sure it's a great test for both men's mental toughness. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just trying to aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
Clean this up with a tap. Just a sloppy hole, no other way to say it, and it results in a double bogey.
One hole left to play here at the United States Open Championship. It all comes down to this. Frank, what does Rory need to do here off the tee?
Well, he has a big advantage, Rich. It's unusual, actually, to have a par 5 in a US Open as a finishing hole. He's slightly longer than Keimer off the tee, so he has more chance of reaching this par 5 and 2.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Whack. Why did they whack it, man?
It's in the bunker. Frank, the great thing about these major championships is the slow build-up to moments just like this, and then it gets really tense.
It's a dream scenario, Rich. You just dream that you're going to have the two best players in the game, buying it out, coming down to the very last hole. That's exactly what we have right now. So far, they've provided great golf. It's going to take something even better than that right now to determine who's going to win.
A bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
Frank, what's Rory going to face here with this fairway bunker shot?
Well, for most people, it'd be a scary and a daunting task, but for Rory, his ability to get the ball up so quick, this is very doable.
Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green, and instead opted for fairway.
McIlroy now, fifth shot.
Now that I can see.
Frank, I think this one's going to miss the fairway.
He's going to need a little bit of luck here.
That is always so disappointing from that kind of a spot when you come up short.
Yeah, you're licking your chops over that one. A shot you think you could hit directly at the flag. Now, test for the short game.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
And getting ready for the putt. Hit it.
The door was open, but Martin Kaymer slammed it shut. Kaymer, the U.S. Open champion yet again. It came down to the final hole. Kaymer really put on a show. This will forever be remembered as one of the best finishes in major championship history.
Lose a lead or you lose a major, or it doesn't quite work out the way you had hoped. At that moment in time there's obviously a lot of disappointment, but I think that passes and you use that as motivation for the next one, and that's the only way you can view it. You can't feel sorry for yourself, or you can't get down about it, because what's happened, the past is the past and you move on, but you use it as motivation not to let it happen again. My toughest loss was the 2011 Masters, when I had a 4-shot lead going into the final round and completely blew up on the back nine. It was a very tough moment for me. It was very disappointing, but I used that as motivation to say to myself, that's not going to happen again. That's not the player I am. That's not the player I want to be. I used it in a way that 70 days later I won my first US Open and my first major. So sometimes disappointments can be catalysts for good things to happen in the future, and it's just how you react to it. And I feel like, if you react to your disappointments in the right way, they can be very beneficial.
EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage.
Right. Well, shit, I didn't know it was going to make me fucking play the Open right away and win.
Today we're here at
Win
Chambers
the
Bay in University Place, Washington. Rich Thorner alongside Frank Novelo for EA Sports, set to bring you all of the action. Frank, what can you tell us about this golf course?
We've got a big golf course in front of us today. Robert Trent Jones II designed this golf course really to fit in with these marvelous surroundings. But consequently, we have like what I would call almost an inland links. It's going to play like that. Ideally, you'd like to play this golf course through the air, but it's very exposed to the elements.
So we're ready to get the round going here at Chambers Bay, and we'll begin, Frank, at the first with a par 4.
496 yards. Obviously, that'll stretch anybody out there. That bunker down the right is very much in play. The fairway does narrow out, too, just short of that. So this really is going to require one of your best tee shots. Semi-blind second shot, a relatively big green.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole.
Hey, I didn't hit the bunker.
This is the second shot at the par 4.
Wow, look at this crap.
One of the things I think that's captivated the audience now with Rory McIlroy is he's doing things that we thought only one other player could do, and that's Tiger Woods. When you can streak fields in a major championship by nearly double figures, that's when you're in a class in your own. And I know that's stating the obvious.
He has a gear, Frank, that I don't think other players have. You might be rolling along at 95 miles per hour, and you think you're moving, and you look to your right and you blink and go, who was that? Somebody just went by me, and he's doing 125 and making it look easy. This kid is really special. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Rory McIlroy playing his 4th shot.
It's not giving me the swing, though, man.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Now he has this for double bogey. At +2 already.
Shut up.
Now at the second and a medium length par 4, Frank.
Yeah, a slight dogleg to the left, rather long, skinny green here. Well bunkered all the way down the left side. Really anything down the right, and the natural contours of the land should kick that ball a little to the left.
Until it down moves all the way.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. That's a bit offline
What
in the
happened
rough.
to the wind? Where's this 4 miles an hour wind that's supposed to blow my shit to the left?
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
What's the deal, Willis? It's just a...
Options or anything right now? Is there options right now?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah, I guess you'll have to do this. I don't know about the start, Marty. Big button in the middle. There's a brown, that's one. Just reset brown, that's it. Fuck. This is par 4. Hang on a second.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach.
What is with these bunkers, dude?
Routine stuff here, Frank, from the
It's like
bunker.
the bunker.
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
It should be a lot better once you customize it.
Did the smart thing there, Frank. Took his medicine, back out onto the fairway. So, Frank, on this approach shot, really all you can do is try to salvage a bogey.
Yeah, just too many mistakes in the compiling. So if you can get out here with a bogey, in some respects, that's a result.
Oh, what the hell?
Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back. He didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Just trying to make clean contact from the rough. On the green, short, but plenty of real estate between the ball and the hole. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Oh!
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good.
It's real sensitive. Like, we gotta...
You don't
Bro,
want to
you
let this
gotta
one
be able
get
to
away.
fucking
This is
play
about
on this.
concentration and focus at this point.
Shit, bro.
The wind should protect the ball when it's on the ground.
Well, once you hit double the par, it's time to just pick up and move on. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners, well, if you can call them corners, more like ragtails, but beautiful par 3.
It is on, bro. It puts it automatic all by itself.
Rich, when you think about it, this course is built for you. You know, you've got a hole called Cape Fair, right? And then there's one called Beached, and then you follow up there with Derailed. This one says Rich Learner.
Nothing like positive thinking when you step onto a tee. I'm beached, I'm derailed, and I'm in a complete free fall in the middle of my round.
Let's go play.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that. And keep that club moving. That grass is going to be, that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
I love the commentators, dude. It's hilarious. They're like telling me shit. That's hilarious, bro.
Just 5 feet left.
That's the coolest thing about this game, Rich. I mean, it's just now it's another shot.
Just a little tap in here, then a rocky round.
That one should have fucking been.
Frank, standing here on the 4th tee at Chambers Bay, you can see what this golf course is all about with those dunes on the left and all that sand down on the right. A lot of trouble here.
Yeah, first hole, Rich, really that bends to the right, but if anything, you want to keep the tee shot down the left side. It's going to give you a better angle to the green. And unlike the 2 previous holes, this fairway slopes to the other direction, to the right.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Second from an excellent lie.